Greetings, mortals, and welcome to my October bullet journal. Thank you for joining me today. Diving straight into this video, I wanted to take an illustration that I created in Procreate on my iPad and turn that into my main illustration on my first page here. I decided to go ahead and print this out on some fluid hot press watercolor paper. I like using the hot press finish when printing illustrations from my iPad. The smooth texture just overall makes a better quality image, and it works a lot better for actually painting over as well. I will be masking off some spider webs with some masking fluid, so I can then go ahead and use a black ink to cover the background, but I overall want my spider webs to be white. This is a technique that I've done before when making Halloween cards, and it's one of my favorite techniques to do. So once I paint over these and everything is dry, I will just simply rub off the masking fluid and everything will be white. For the illustration, I decided to use my Prima Woodland watercolor palette. This is one of my favorite watercolor palettes. I love the muted tones and how you can mute them down even more with using the shadow color in here. These colors really worked well with the paper I have selected for my monthly calendar spread, as you'll see coming up here soon in a little bit. For now, go ahead and sit back and relax and enjoy this painting process. The background, I decided to use my Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay Black Indian ink. I do like watercolor for a lot of my illustrations, but sometimes I'll go ahead and use my P.H. Martin's ink. I love the pigments of these, and this ink has been one of my favorite inks to use. Like a watercolor, I love the textures that it creates and how it spreads along the paper with the water. You can get some really, really cool effects. I decided to use the same Bombay Black Indian ink to do the October title on this page as well. Moving on to the next spread here. The cardstock I am placing here is from Park Lane, and it's from the Haunted Hollow paper stack. I absolutely love this paper stack that I purchased. The prints are absolutely amazing, and I had a really hard time deciding on which one I was going to use for this month. I just settled on this one because of the skull and the spider webs. I thought worked really well with the illustration that I had created with the skull and the books, and putting the spider webs into the corners of the spread. I decided to go ahead and design my monthly calendar using Photoshop this month, just to cut down on some time for me laying out my monthly calendar. I wanted to do something a little different, but also to kind of save on time because this month has been very, very busy for us. The quote I decided to go with is by the lovely Morticia Addams, and it is, "Normal is an illusion. What is normal for the spider is chaos for the fly." And this quote has been one of my favorite quotes since I came across it, but I also kind of have always said this growing up, that what is normal for me is not normal for other people. And once you embrace that, you kind of have a different outlook on life. I decided to use this because I thought it fit really well with the spiderwebs theme, but also it's a very, very powerful quote for something so simple. I decided to tear the edges of that and go ahead and paste that in there just for some extra texture, and I really liked the way it came out. Now I'm going to use some copper acrylic and fill in and go over the black printed out calendar here. I really enjoyed the way the copper stood out against the black, but also kind of gives that October warmth and fall feel as well. For my weeklies, I wanted to do the rolling weeklies that I have learned from watching Plant-Based Bride. I know that October is going to be a very busy month for me, and I'm going to have a lot of things to fill in. I have a lot of projects to do and some more videos that I want to create. And so I wanted to have a lot of space. Usually I don't need that much space when doing my weeklies, so I'll do something a lot smaller. So this month I decided to use the rolling weeklies technique that I've learned from Plant-Based Bride. And if you haven't seen her channel, go ahead and check it out. I love watching her stuff, and she always has the most interesting facts when going through her bullet journal. I decided to incorporate the spider webs along with the theme for this month, and I did those in the corners of a few different weeklies. And I also went ahead and left a section for notes, which I call Quest, because it's usually my quest for the week and all my projects that I have going on and things that I need to keep up on. So I'm going to go through here and just lay out this weekly and move on to the next. And my tabs, I just kept the colors that I use for the actual illustration that I colored in, and to keep going with the color theme. After finishing up my weeklies here, I move on to the final spread for this month. I wanted to incorporate my overall bullet journal theme of moon and wanted to incorporate the spiderwebs. So I created this fun little illustration of a moon with some spiderwebs and a little spider hanging there. I also incorporated more of the Park Lane's Haunted Hollow cardstock. This one is similar to the one I used earlier. It's just a little different. It has the same foliage, but this one has a spider in the corner. I cut it down to the size that I wanted and just kind of using the design that I wanted on the paper in this area. I also could not decide between two different quotes on this page, so I decided to use them both. The first quote is by Angie Wayland Crosby, and that is, "She was a weaver of love, her soul a sunlit loom." And the second quote is by John Muir. "We tug on a single thing in nature, we find it attached to everything else." Both of these quotes are beautiful and deep, and they really stood out to me, so I decided to use both of them. And that's it for this month. Before I wrap up this video, we'll do a flip through of this month's bullet journal. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a black heart down in the comments. And if you would like to see more videos like this and other creative projects, you can follow me on social media and check out my Patreon. Thank you again for watching, and I hope everyone has a lovely October.